The DA, as well as Safe South Africa, will be participating in events through the capital streets. Safe South Africa is a new coalition of civil society organizations formed to hold government leaders accountable to the Constitution. They will march under the banner of People's Assembly Against State Capture. Members have gathered at St. Alban's Church in the city centre. And for more on this, let's cross to Patricia Visagie. She's there. She's covering this event for us. Patricia, a very good morning to you. I believe that there was also a night vigil that was held in the area. I think it was by the EFF. I'm not too sure if the Save South Africa was there and the DA as well. Just talk to us about the atmosphere and what's happening currently.
Good morning, Leanne, and to our viewers. Well, certainly a very interesting night vigil, and we've been hearing that, of course, there are other elements linked to it, that some of the people who might have been involved with that vigil are now blocking roads in Pretoria and, of course, are forcing some of the other motorists to join the big expected march by the EFF. But we are not part of that march. I'm here at the event that's taking place here at the St. Alban Church in the Pretoria CBD, of course, where Safe South Africa will be joined by people from all spheres of the country. We're talking about business, religious organizations, civil society, student formations, and of course whoever else that wants to be part of the so-called efforts to save South Africa from what they have termed state capture. But to take us through what is expected today, I'm now joined by Mark Hayward from Section 21. Good morning, Mark, and thank you so much for joining us. Just take us through what we can expect.
Good morning, and thank you very much. Well, here at St. Albans Church, which is in the centre of Pretoria, we're holding a People's Assembly Against State Capture. We're trying to have this assembly to bring together South Africans in all their diversity, to express their anger, their outrage about state capture, but also to commit to fighting for the Constitution and to commit to and strengthen our efforts to deal with poverty and inequality in this country. So, we have senior business leaders here, we have senior church leaders, we have leaders from the arts and entertainment industry, civil society leaders, and of course we have many, many ordinary people. And we will have a program which is really about a day of recommitment to the dream of South Africa, a day of recommitment to fighting poverty, to fighting inequality. And we can't do that whilst at the top of the state, protected by Jacob Zuma, are a bunch of people who are stealing state resources which are intended for the poor and putting them into their own pockets. That's what it's about.
Mark, just down the road, I think you can see that there is a red sea, and we're watching it right now. You can see the members of the EFF warming up, uniting in song there. Basically, all of you are standing for the same cause, it seems, today.
We are all standing for the same cause today. In planning this event, we've been talking to the EFF, we've been talking to the DA, and in fact, today there will be part of our program speeches by political leaders. We're expecting the leaders of the DA, the leaders of COPE, the leaders of the EFF will all be part of this program as well. What we're saying to people is, if you are against poverty, if you are against theft, if you're against corruption, put aside your differences and unite to clean up this state so that South Africa, rather than being a country of failure, rather than being a country where millions of people are hungry, rather than being a country with a failing education system, is the country we dreamed of when we first voted in 1994.
I've seen several prominent leaders already making their way in. A lot of people are trickling in since very early this morning. Maybe take us through who you've already spotted. I saw Barbara Hogan inside. Who else is here?
Well, Barbara Hogan is here, Sipho Pichana is here, Jabu Mabuza is here. There's a press conference of business leaders taking place as we speak inside. Anele Yawa, the General Secretary of the Treatment Action Campaign, is here. Church leaders are here or are on their way. People like Ivan Pillay will be here later on today, and we're expecting some special guests because we want to honor today some of the people who have been at the forefront of standing up against corruption. So, many people are here already. It's only 7 o'clock in the morning. We're not formally starting until 9 o'clock. But people get a sense of the importance of this day. And I would say to your listeners, to your viewers, if you're in the Pretoria area, come. This is for you. This is not an event just of the leaders. This is an event of the people of this country.
And I see a lot of flags. I mean, here we've got a massive South African flag, and on this side I see that's one that says "Stop the Looting," and right here behind me we've got this one that says "South Africa is not for sale." These are the type of messages that you are trying to cement today.
Well, the key message, the reason why the South Africa flag is here, and you will see the South Africa flag many times today. You will see thousands of South African flags, and if you go inside, you'll see the church is full of South African flags. The flag is what unites us. The flag is what each person has in common. And again, our message is, let's take what we have in common. If you like corruption, fine, don't come here. If you like the poverty you see on the streets, fine, don't come here. But if you have a conscience, if it hurts you, if it angers you, if you're poor, if you're rich or middle class, but it hurts you to see the poverty and the suffering of ordinary people, then you need to take a stand in this day. And even if you're not in Pretoria, there are demonstrations in Cape Town, in Durban, in Pietermaritzburg, and even if you don't know about a demonstration in your area, find a few friends, take a flag, go and stand on the street, stand outside a magistrate's office, start to think about what you can do to be an active citizen. Because one thing we want to say to people is that if you just leave the future of our country to the so-called leaders, we will fail.
All right, thank you so much, Mark Hayward there from Section 27. Of course, here we have the People's Assembly that's, of course, coming together here at the St. Albans Church in the Pretoria CBD. And just down the street, as I said, literally a stone throw from here, I can see the EFF uniting in song. And, of course, the DA also gearing up just a couple of streets from here. So a lot of activity happening here in the capital city today. Leanne, but for now, let's give back to you in the studio.
All right, Patricia Visagie, thank you very much for that. We'll check in with Patricia again. As you heard, it's only scheduled to kick off at 9 o'clock this morning, so you can only imagine that momentum is going to gather there and a lot more people going to head in that direction of St. Albans. We'll keep you updated as to what happens.